Namaskar and welcome to Sansad Television. I am Vishal, Dahiya and you're watching the news. Let's begin with the headlines first. Ukraine crisis dominates India-Australia virtual summit. Both countries express commitment to free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Prime Minister Modi thanks Australian Prime Minister for return of 29 artifacts. Rajya Sabha returns appropriation bills to Lok Sabha for release of additional funds for services in previous years. Nomination process concludes for 13 Rajya Sabha seats in 6 states. And Padma Awards presented. CDS General Bipin Rawat awarded Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad conferred Padma Bhushan. Boeing 737 crashes in China with 132 passengers. Extensive search and relief operation launched. I'll look at some other important stories of the day as well. A pro tem speaker administers oath to new MLAs in Uttarakhand Assembly. BJP Legislative Party meets to elect the Chief Minister. BJP confirms Pramod Sawant as Goa Chief Minister for a second term. BJP leader N. Biren Singh takes oath as Manipur Chief Minister for a second term. 20% growth in domestic passenger traffic in February in comparison to January, says DGCA. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar holds talks with Australian Foreign Minister in Delhi. Recruitment for 300 vacancies in women military police undertaken in last 3 years, says MOS Ajay Bhatt in Rajya Sabha. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan asserts that states responsible for allocating land for Kendriya Vidyalaya schools. Hong Kong to lift flight ban on 9 countries including India in April. US to declare Myanmar's treatment of Rohingya Muslim population a genocide. Deep depression over Andaman likely to intensify into cyclonic storm. Let's look at some more stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a virtual summit with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison on Monday. Now, both leaders discussed the war in Ukraine and reiterated that such an incident should not take place in the Indo-Pacific. Morrison was hopeful that the two countries will come closer on bilateral economic cooperation as well. Prime Minister Modi emphasized that a comprehensive economic plan will be important to bilateral relations.
पिछले कुछ वर्षों सिक्का का शीघ्र समापन हमारे आर्थिक संबंधों, इकोनॉमिक रिवाइवल और इकोनॉमिक सिक्योरिटी के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण होगा। क्वाड में भी हमारे बीच अच्छा सहयोग चल रहा है। हमारा यह सहयोग फ्री, ओपन और इंक्लूसिव इंडो पैसिफिक के प्रति हमारी प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है। क्षेत्रीय और वैश्विक स्थिरता के लिए क्वाड की सफलता बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
But cooperation between like-minded liberal democracies is key to an open and inclusive and resilient and prosperous Indo-Pacific, and I welcome your leadership within the Quad to keeping us focused on those important issues. We've made great progress in defence, maritime cooperation, science, technology, clean energy as well, which is something I know that Australia can work together closely with India on. And I'll be delighted today to announce some more initiatives that build on that foundation towards our post-pandemic world.
India has reclaimed 29 priceless antiques from Australia. Prime Minister Modi inspected these artifacts that belong to different time periods, the earliest one dating to 9th to 10th century CE. Mostly sculptures and paintings Executed in a variety of material, that is sandstone, marble, bronze, brass, paper, the antiques represent a large geographical region in India from Rajasthan, Gujarat to Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and West Bengal as well.
प्राचीन भारतीय कलाकृतियों को लौटाने की पहल के लिए मैं आपको विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं और आपने जो कलाकृतियां भेजी हैं इनमें राजस्थान, पश्चिम बंगाल, गुजरात, हिमाचल प्रदेश, इसके साथ कई अन्य भारतीय राज्यों में से अवैध तरीके से निकाली गई सैकड़ों वर्ष पुरानी मूर्तियां और चित्र हैं.
Now some news from Parliament's budget session as well. Several opposition leaders praised the work of Minister for Road Transport and Highways Nitin Gadkari but flagged concerns on issues like quality of roads, their maintenance and alleged lack of transparency in toll collection as well. They were taking part in the discussion on the demand for grants of Ministry of Road Transport and Highways for 2022-23 in the Lok Sabha. While BJP MP from Arunachal Pradesh, Tapir Gao, hailed road construction under the Modi government, CPM MP AM Arif thanked Gadkari for the development of national highways in Kerala in a time-bound manner.
नितिन गडकरी साहब का नाम मैंने बदल दिया हूं स्पाइडर मैन. मकरा जाल हिंदुस्तान का हर कोने में स्पाइडर जैसे जाल बिछाता है, वैसे नितिन गडकरी साहब ने जाल बिछा के रखा है. सरकू का जाल बिछा के रखा है.
आज भी हम महाराष्ट्र में बहुत सारी रोडों की दिक्कत हमें आती हैं, पर मुझे लगता है ये डिपार्टमेंट पिछले 7 वर्षों में जो तरीके से अमरावती के इंटरनल बाहर के जो रोड्स हैं ये डिपार्टमेंट ने किए. आज अमरावती कोई भी बड़ा पॉलिटिकल आई या कोई भी बड़ा व्यक्ति हमारे अमरावती डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एंटर करता है तो वो देख के उसका दिल खुश हो जाता है कि ये रोड सेंटर से बने हुए हैं और इस तरीके से इसकी रोड की तैयारी ये डिपार्टमेंट ने की है.
वहां पर हम क्या देखते हैं कि मैंने पहले भी कहा कि हम योजनाएं बनाते हैं, लेकिन योजनाओं में डीपीआर बनाते वक्त अगर जनप्रतिनिधियों से सुझाव मांगे जाएं तो शायद बहुत आसानी से लंबी योजनाएं इंप्लीमेंट होंगी.
Sir, regarding the widening of National Highway 66 passing through Kerala, a number of problems with the currently approved designs have been already brought to the notice of the Honorable Minister. Sir, one of the major demands is related to the construction of great separator in Karunagapalli town in Kollam district in my parliament constituency.
The Rajya Sabha returned appropriation bills to the Lok Sabha after discussion. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman moved Appropriation Bill 2022 in the Rajya Sabha that seeks to authorize payment of additional sums from the Consolidated Fund of India for services of 2021-22. She also moved Appropriation Bill number 2 2022 for services during 2018-19. Finance Minister clarified why appropriation bills for older budgets have been introduced now.
Due to rising global fertilizer prices and the input prices are also going up. So the BE 22-23, which is coming budget, we have already given fertilizer subsidy 1.05 lakh crores, which is 31% more than 21-22 BE.
Senior BJP leader Pushkar Singh Dhami will be the next Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Legislature party of BJP meeting announced the decision after its meeting in Dehradun. Rajnath Singh and Meenakshi Lekhi were the central observers at this meet. Earlier, BJP's Bansidhar Bhagat took oath as pro tem speaker. Thereafter, he administered the oath of membership to the newly elected MLAs of the state.
सरिता आर्या जो विधानसभा की सदस्य निर्वाचित हुई हूँ, ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि
BJP Legislative Party leader N. Biren Singh was sworn in as Chief Minister of Manipur for the second time at the Raj Bhavan in Imphal. Singh, along with 5 cabinet ministers, were administered oath by Governor La Ganeshan. Union ministers Nirmala Sitharaman and Kiran Rijiju had on Sunday handed over a letter to Ganeshan stating that Singh was elected unanimously as the leader of BJP Legislative Party with 32 MLAs. Aam Aadmi Party named former cricketer Harbhajan Singh, party MLA Raghav Chadda, IIT Delhi faculty member Sandeep Pathak, educationist Ashok Kumar Mittal and businessman Sanjeev Arora as the party's candidate for the Rajya Sabha from Punjab. All candidates filed their nomination papers on Monday. Last date for withdrawal of nominations is 24th of March. Working President of the United People's Party Liberal and ally of the BJP in Assam, R. Najari, filed his nomination for the Rajya Sabha elections today. The state has 2 vacant seats, election for which will be held on 31st of March. The BJP is nominating Pabitra Mangarita for the other seat as well. Ripun Bora today filed his nominations as Congress candidate for the Rajya Sabha elections in Assam. Bora is in the fray, this time as a joint candidate of the opposition parties. BJP released a list of 6 more candidates for elections to the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council. The party has fielded Subhash Yadavansh from Siddharth Nagar, Avinash Singh Chauhan from Kanpur Fatehpur, Vineet Singh from Mirzapur Sonbhadra. It had earlier announced 30 candidates. The Tamil Nadu Assembly passed a resolution against Karnataka's attempt to build the Mekedatu Dam on the Kaveri River. The Tamil Nadu Water Resources Minister moved the resolution that states that Karnataka does not respect the orders of the Kaveri Water Disputes Tribunal and the Supreme Court. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin laid the foundation stone of a multi-specialty hospital in Chennai. The 7-story hospital costs 230 crore rupees and will have 1,000 beds. Many types of testing facilities will also be available here. Trinamool Congress MP Abhishek Banerjee was questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in Delhi in a money laundering case related to the alleged coal scam in West Bengal. Abhishek and his wife are being investigated for their suspected role in the case. Anti-COVID-19 vaccination of children in the 12 to 14-year age group started in West Bengal on Monday. The children got their first doses of Corbevax vaccine. Officials claimed that late arrival of SOPs from the centre delayed the vaccination campaign in the state that started in the rest of the country on 16th of March. Now news from the world of business and economy as well. RBI will ensure adequate liquidity to support the economy, assured Reserve Bank Governor Shaktikanta Das in an address to the industry. Now, he underscored headwinds faced by the economy in the form of soaring crude oil and key commodity prices following the Russian invasion of Ukraine. The RBI governor said that post-pandemic, the central bank has pumped in a whopping 17 lakh crore rupees into the economy. He assured the industry that RBI will continue to ensure that the economy is well-oiled with funds. Yemen's Houthi militia launched overnight attacks targeting energy facilities, including Aramco oil, in many Saudi Arabian cities since Saturday night. The Saudi Energy Ministry said the drone strikes hit a natural gas plant and refinery in western city of Yanbu, causing a temporary production reduction in output. Already under pressure by Ukraine-Russia conflict, it was another blow for the oil market. The prices of the crude oil at Brent jumped more than $4 per barrel and reached above $112 per barrel mark. After witnessing a sharp recovery of around 10%, there was some fatigue visible in the Indian markets, with profit booking emerging at highest levels. The ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict and fluctuations in the oil prices amid supply constraints kept investors on the edge as well. Overall, Bombay Stock Exchange Sensex lost 571 points or 1% and closed at 57,292. National Stock Exchange Nifty 50 also lost around 1% and closed at 17,117 levels. We'll take a short break, but coming up after the break, we have environment-friendly cars, but do we have pollution-free or green batteries? Will we find out after the break. Welcome back. Let's now take a look at some news from the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Even as the Russian invasion entered the 26th day on Monday, Ukrainian President Zelensky asked European nations to halt all trade with Russia. Meanwhile, at least 4 people were killed in an explosion at a shopping center in Kiev, while European Union's diplomats are calling Russia's attack on Mariupol a war crime.
People collecting pieces of life-supporting items from the debris, carefully avoiding the dead bodies. The shelling and the rocket attacks have left even the gods without a roof. Once bustling Mariupol is today a ghost town, but Ukraine is holding on to its strategic port city. 3 lakh people are believed to be trapped in the city with diminishing aid, which is blocked from entering. Capital Kiev is also being bombarded. Loud explosions were heard as a shopping center and cars in a parking lot caught fire. Ukrainian emergency services say 4 people were killed by shelling not far from the center of Kiev on Sunday. Russian forces also targeted an ammonia plant in Sumy. A 50-ton tank of the poison gas was said to be damaged, creating an ammonia cloud. In the midst of gloom, talks of impending peace is keeping hopes alive. Turkey's foreign minister says Ukraine and Russia are close to an agreement on fundamental issues. The minister said in return for its neutrality, Ukraine wants Turkey, Germany and the 5 permanent UNSC members as guarantors. As Ukraine and the rest of the world look to the ongoing peace efforts to succeed, more than 33,89,000 people have been displaced, the numbers going up every day. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And now some news from other parts of the world as well. A Chinese airliner with 133 people on board crashed in the southern province of Guangxi on Monday. China broadcaster CCTV said the accident involved a China Eastern Airlines Boeing 737. The crash took place near the city of Wuzhou in Teng County. After the tragedy, China Eastern Airlines changed the color of its website to black. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has condoled the crash of the China Eastern Airlines plane. Shanghai-based China Eastern is one of China's top 3 airlines. It operates scores of domestic and international routes and serves nearly 248 destinations. Malaysian Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob arrived in Vietnam's capital Hanoi for a 3-day visit to boost trade and other links. Yaakob was given a welcome ceremony on Monday morning with Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh. Hanoi is hoping the visit will help in efforts to develop new opportunities for cooperation post-COVID-19. Vietnam and Malaysia signed several agreements on legal cooperation, labor exports and diplomatic training as well. At least 1 person was killed and 24 others wounded, including children, in a shooting outside a car show in southeast Arkansas. Police said Arkansas police released the footage of the incident. 1 person was in custody and authorities were searching for others who may have fired into the crowd on Saturday evening as well. Dozens gathered in various cities in Brazil to show their support for President Jair Bolsonaro. Surveys show the president trailing his rival Lula da Silva in the upcoming October presidential elections in Rio. De Janeiro supporters cheered outside his house, singing "Happy Birthday" as the president turns 67 on Monday. The president also made a video call with the group, thanking them for their support. And now the latest from the world of science and tech. In Sweden, efforts are underway to produce greener car batteries ahead of a proposed European Union move to ban vehicle batteries that do not carry a carbon footprint declaration. Now, currently, lithium-ion batteries are accelerating the transition to zero-emission vehicles, but its impact on environment is becoming a growing cause for concern.
Europe is unveiling its plans for greener car batteries at Northvolt, a new gigafactory in northern Sweden. The first battery cell rolled off production lines at the startup late last year. Production will be expanded to up to 60 gigawatt hours a year, enough to deliver over 1 million car batteries annually. The European Union is adopting a legislation this year that will allow only vehicle batteries labelled with a carbon footprint declaration into the European market from mid-2024. Northvolt says the gigafactory will use 100% renewable wind and hydro energy. This will help produce cells with 80% lower carbon footprint compared to those made using energy from coal. Commercial deliveries are expected from this year. Northvolt will use recycled materials including nickel, manganese and cobalt in its future cells. The company hopes to recycle 125,000 tons of batteries per year. It will receive materials from disused electric vehicle batteries and production scrap from the nearby plant. Currently, Asia dominates the world's lithium-ion battery manufacturing market, but Europe is expected to boost its market share from 6 to 16% by 2029. Bureau Report, Sansad TV.
And time now for all the action from the world of sports. Starting with cricket, India will have no room for errors when they take on Bangladesh in their must-win ICC Women's World Cup League match tomorrow. Mithali Raj's team's problems have compounded over the course of their campaign, which has seen them win 2 games and lose 3, including back-to-back defeats against England and Australia. The match is to be played at Hamilton. In another Women's World Cup match to be played tomorrow, which in fact begins before the India-Bangladesh game, 2 unbeaten teams of the competition, Australia and South Africa, will lock horns. Australia have won 5 on the bounce, while South Africa are yet to lose in the 4 matches they have played so far. The match will be played in Wellington. Pakistan today defeated West Indies to register their first win in this edition of Women's World Cup. Pakistani bowlers restricted the Caribbean team to 89 for 7 in a match reduced to 20 overs aside. Nida Da took 4 wickets for 10 runs, playing a key role in restricting Indies to a below par total. Pakistan achieved the target for the loss of only 2 wickets with 7 balls to spare. Australia elected to bat and won 232 for 5 at the end of day 1 in the third and final test of the series against Pakistan. The match, played at Lahore, saw 2 half-centuries from Usman Khwaja and Steven Smith. Khwaja made 91 and Smith was out on 59. Pakistani pacer Shaheen Shah Afridi took the first 2 wickets, while Naseem Shah also sent 2 Aussie batters to the pavilion. Moving to badminton now, Lakshya Sen could not emulate former Indian badminton greats Prakash Padukone and Pulela Gopichand in the finals of the All India Badminton Championship. Sen lost at the last hurdle to world number 1 Victor Axelsen in straight games 10-21, 15-21 and had to settle for silver. Padukone had won the prestigious championship in 1980 and Gopichand did so in 2001. Talking about hockey now, Mandeep Singh scored a last-minute decisive goal after drag flicker Jugraj Singh's 2 powerful penalty corner strikes as the Indian men's hockey team beat Argentina 4-3 in a drama-filled second match of the FIH Pro League tie. With this win, India avenged its first leg shootout defeat against Argentina. Moving to football, Real Madrid suffered a 4-0 thrashing in the second El Clasico of the season on Sunday, but still have a 9-point lead at the top of La Liga with 9 games to go. While every Barca player was simply exquisite at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, the Pierre-Emerick had a special night with a hand in 3 of the 4 goals, scoring 2 of them himself. Paris Saint-Germain produced a woeful performance as they lost 3-0 at Monaco in French League One on Sunday. Though PSG still have a comfortable lead in the points table, the result is sure to put their coach under more pressure less than 2 weeks after PSG's Champions League exit. Messi was ruled out of the Monaco match due to a bout of flu. In motor racing, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc won the first race of the 2022 Formula One season, coming on the top in a thrilling battle with Max Verstappen in the Bahrain. Now, Leclerc had started on pole and showed great speed and composure throughout the race. Reigning champion Verstappen suffered a devastating engine failure on the penultimate lap, meaning Leclerc's teammate finished second while Lewis Hamilton took third. President Ramnath Kovind felicitated the winners of Padma Awards for the year 2022 at a ceremony in Rashtrapati Bhavan. Now, President Ramnath Kovind presented the Padma Vibhushan Awards to CDS General Bipin Rawat posthumously to his daughters Kritika and Tarini. Senior Congress leader Ghulam Nabi Azad was honoured with Padma Bhushan. Paralympic silver medalist Devendra Jhajaria was awarded the Padma Bhushan. President Kovind also honoured SII MD Cyrus Poonawalla with Padma Bhushan. Many eminent personalities from different fields were given Padma Shri awards. The second part of the Padma Award ceremony will be organised on 28th of March. And before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Ukraine crisis dominates India-Australia virtual summit. Both countries express commitment to free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Prime Minister Modi thanks Australian Prime Minister for the return of 29 artifacts. Rajya Sabha returns appropriation bills to Lok Sabha for release of additional funds for services in previous years. Nomination process concludes for 13 Rajya Sabha seats in 6 states. Padma Awards presented. CDS General Bipin Rawat awarded Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Congress leader General Ghulam Nabi Azad conferred Padma Bhushan. And Boeing 737 crashes in China with 132 passengers. Extensive search and relief operations launched. That's all we have in this edition of the news. We'll come back again tomorrow. Till then, keep watching Sansad Television. Thank you.